Hi, I am Amy Baltimore, and I am a CPA in Covington, Tennessee. I've been with Thrive now for about 2 years, and one of the first things that my coach had me do was start doing morning huddles with my employees. So I started doing the huddles every morning. We would meet in the lobby, and I would stand in front of everybody and I would go over burning fires, what we needed to do, and whatnot, and then we would break and everybody would get to work. And then about 2 weeks ago, I was talking to my coach and I said, I have this one position that I just can't fill. I've had several different people in the position. They always wind up getting fired or quitting, and it's a pretty important position. I don't know what I should do. Am I looking in the wrong place? Am I looking for the wrong person? And he said, well, I don't know. Let me talk to Clay about it. So then the following week, he said that he talked to Clay, and Clay told him that the problem wasn't really the people that I was hiring, that I was hiring the right people. I was looking for the right people, but the problem was my training. And it lies in my morning huddles. And it was like a light bulb moment for me. It never occurred to me that I could use my morning huddles as a training tool. So I said, well, Luke, how do I do this? And he said, well, let's put together an agenda for your morning huddles. So we put together this agenda. And the next morning, I called everybody into the conference room and I put the agenda up on the TV screen, and we went through the agenda, and I could see in my employees that it was like a light bulb moment for them too. And so I shared the huddle on Google Docs with all of my employees, and they are now required every day at the end of the day, it's on their daily checklists, to go in and put something in the logistical section of our morning huddle agenda. And there are questions like, I had this situation arise today and I didn't know how to handle it. Or I had this question from a client and I didn't know what the answer was. Or, how do I do a certain thing? Or why do we do certain things? And so we go into our conference room every morning, put the agenda up on the TV screen, we go through the logistical section, and then we assign action items. And it's been probably the single most productive tool that I have come across in this process. And we've got, so the questions that sometimes they'll ask, someone else has already had the situation and come up with the solution and had no idea that other people were struggling with it. And so I've got employees are now teaching other employees. I'm training, I'm answering questions, and people who were idle before, they'd gotten their work done, they didn't have anything else to do, they were sitting idle, are now busy because they have action items to do. And sometimes they'll come up with, why do we do this certain thing this certain way? I know we've always done it this way and it works, but if we do it this other way, we can come up with the same result in half the time. And I'm like, whoa, I never even thought of that. So in the 2 weeks that we have been doing this, we've created new checklists, we've created new procedures, we've revamped checklists, we've revamped procedures, and one of the logistical things that somebody had put on the agenda was that they wanted to learn payroll taxes. And I've got one person in my office who does the payrolls and the payroll taxes, and they were really the only person who knew anything about payroll taxes. And so this payroll person put together a training session for everybody in the office. She set everybody down and taught everybody how to do payroll taxes and basically help them to understand the payroll taxes. And so now I have everybody is handling their own payroll tax issues, where before that they would just have to defer it to the payroll person because they didn't know the answers. And now the payroll person has had extra time because she's gotten her department organized and she's gotten her procedures updated. And now I'm going to have to hit the pavement to go find more payrolls to fill up her time, where before she barely had enough time to get everything done. And so now I have the potential of adding approximately another $1,000 a month to my bottom line, and I don't have to hire anybody else. And so it's really kind of cool.